Shalom again, Chavarim. So in Judaism we know that there's no such thing as rights. No one has rights. I don't have rights to myself. And if you had rights to yourself, a person would have the ability to commit suicide or harm themselves. And it's a forbidden law in Judaism. We don't have rights to our children. If I had rights to my children, I could end up harming them and making them serve me in some ways. No, I don't have rights to my children. They are not mine. In Judaism, everything is an obligation. There are no rights, you only have obligations. So if I have a land, if I have a field, the only reason why it's mine is because I'm obligated to look after it. And people shouldn't steal from it because they are obligated not to steal. This week we're coming into the 10 Commandments, and from there all of the Torah as well that was given to Judaism. But what it teaches me is that we must transfer ourselves from living in an environment which screams I have the right to an environment which says I have the obligation, I have the responsibility. It's a whole different way of looking at things. You see, when you look at things from the rights perspective, so then it's all about what I can take. I have the right, and therefore you should give me so-and-so. I have the right, and therefore I deserve from my parents so-and-so. I have the right, and therefore the government should be giving me so-and-so. Living in a world of rights is living in a world of saying, I deserve, I want, I take. Living in a world of obligations is saying, I want to give. Right, isn't it Lincoln that said, ask not what your country could do for you, ask what you could do for your country. So it's so important to live in a world of obligations, and that's what we celebrate. As a child grows up, the first thing we celebrate is a brit milah, or the birth. You are now obligated, you are now going to be responsible, you have mitzvot. And then 13, you have bar-mitzva. What does a bar-mitzvah mean? We're going to make a big celebration saying that you have a responsibility now. You have obligations. And as a person gets older, we continue to celebrate. A wedding is celebrating the obligation that you now have made, the betrothal between you and somebody else. We celebrate obligations. And if you look in the world, many people are celebrating their rights. I get 16, so now I can smoke, even though it's not good for me. I can be 21, or I have the right to own a gun. It's all about rights. Well, our aim is to transfer that world of rights to obligations, and when we do, we'll be living in a much healthier society. And that is one of the powerful points of the mitzvot, the commandments in Judaism. Thank you for listening. Shabbat Shalom.